welcome to this episode of Let's Talk 716 Sports. My special guest is Laurie Fitzpatrick, and we will be talking some Buffalo Bills and Jacksonville Jaguars football.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much.
I'm happy to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
So how do you think the past season went for both the Bills and the Jaguars?
So the Bills did pretty good. From what I remember, they didn't get a chance to play, the Jaguars, this past season. Because how they switch teams. They switch the teams that they play. Every year. So even though they were in the AFC, they're both in the AFC. That they didn't get a chance to play each other. Um, there's nothing like the playoffs back in 2017. It was cool stuff. I'll never forget when when both the Bills and the Jaguars got into the playoffs and had to play each other. So hopefully we'll get to play you guys again. And now we'll have Trevor Lawrence. So last year for the Jaguars was pretty much it. We did what we had to do in order to get Trevor Lawrence. So unfortunately, they lost a lot of games. They did win their first game, so that was cool. They got to beat the Colts. But otherwise, I don't think it was as bad as what their record showed. They were only a one-win team, but I think that they didn't really lose by that many points. So I think the Jaguars are, despite the record last year, I think they're going to do pretty well this year with their new quarterback. So I was disappointed about the amount of wins, but that's what got us the number one pick. So, it's not too bad.
Do you think that Trevor Lawrence is a good um quarterback to be picked up in at number one?
Yeah. So he's been the number one quarterback, ever since he was in college. So, um, I think that he's gonna have some growing pains. That's for sure. But I think they're the right pick. I'm happy that we don't have to play the Bills defense this upcoming year. uh, but I think he's gonna do well. He's gonna have a lot of like short passes just to kind of get the game going. They may use the run game a little bit, and then you're gonna see some couple deep passes to probably DJ Chark, and they got Marvin Jones from Detroit Lions. So that was a really cool pickup. He's a veteran wide receiver that he's someone that Trevor can rely on. Uh, 'Cause Trevor's a rookie, so he's gonna need some people he can depend on. That's gonna be the most important thing. So he needs an offensive line that's good, and the Jaguars have been, they've had the same offensive line for the past couple years. So that's great. I mentioned the wide receiver core, and then they have a pretty good defensive line with depth. So just as long as the defense can do well, maybe they can score a couple touchdowns and help Trevor out, year one.
How do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars will do this year?
So wow, it'll be tough, honestly. So there's 18 games now, right? Isn't there 18 games this season instead of 17? I need to look it up. 2021. Yeah, so there's 18 games, right? So if I were to give them a record, because that's what I was wondering how many games, pretty sure it was 18, but So how many wins do I think they would have? They might go like maybe I could see them going like 8-9, 8 wins and 9 losses, which I mean wouldn't be too bad. A quarterback that is brand new, if he's just average, that's all you can ask for, right? Because they're only going to get better. Um, their schedule isn't that difficult. They play the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Titans twice, which is going to be really difficult. With their new wide receivers and Julio and Derrick Henry, that's going to be tough. Um, oh wait, yeah, we actually do play the Bills. We play the Bills week 9 of this season. I forgot about that. Oh boy, we're gonna have to jump on a podcast when when that week 9. I'm gonna mark it on my calendar. I don't. That's gonna be a tough game, but I mean, I think overall the Jaguars will do pretty well. I don't think they'll exceed any expectations. I don't think they're gonna go like 12 and 12-5 or 12-6 or anything. But I think that they'll get enough wins to make the fan base happy and to keep his morale high. So I think we'll do okay.
Do you think that Urban Meyer is a good coach for the NFL?
Oh, that's tough, right? Because nobody really knows. It's really about the guys that he put around him to kind of help him out. And, can he make the game time adjustments? But this is the next level. This is not college anymore. So honestly, it's kind of tough to tell. Um, you hope that he can, if they do, maybe they start off, with a loss or 2 losses, that third and fourth game is gonna, it's gonna determine a lot. Do they come out firing still, or are they kind of slowing down because they start off with a couple of losses, and so it's really unknown just because this guy has never played in the NFL. But I think that he put the right people around him. I think he knows the game really well. Um, and just as long as he can make those halftime adjustments, I think he'll do pretty good. I don't want to have to shoot myself in the foot by saying that. I'm hoping that he does well because I think he has the tools. I think he set himself up for success. Um, I wish that we had a bigger playmaker at the tight end position. Um, but besides that, I think he put a good enough team together in free agency. I think he picked the right players on offense in the draft. Um, and I think that he hired the right coaches. So he set himself up for success. So, after the first couple of games, we'll really get an idea if he's meant to play at the next or to coach at the next level.
Um, do you think that the Bills will be um good this year too, like to make it as far as they did last season?
Oh, the Bills. Oh man. So I want to take a look at their schedule, right? So they play the Steelers, which the Steelers went 12-4 last year, right? So they weren't too bad. Um, that's going to be a tough one, but their offensive line is terrible. Because I don't want to say terrible. Let me retract. They are very new. They're very young. They haven't played together. The guy that played the left side of the line is now playing the guy that played the right side of the line is now playing on the left side. They got rid of their center and the guard, and they picked up a center in the draft. And their their latest guard that was a starter is no longer playing. They literally released him today. So I think that the Bills actually could get a win week 1 for sure. Because the offensive line is everything, right? The Dolphins, I think they could totally win that game. Um, there's some pieces that they got on their team. The Dolphins, I think they got Jalen Waddle. I think that wide receiver who was pretty good. Um, but I still think the Bills defense is going to win that game. And they really don't have well, they do play the Bucks, but I think they can beat the Patriots. I think they can beat the Saints. They can beat the Colts, in my opinion. Um, the Panthers might be tough, and they can beat the Jets. And they play the Jets twice. They play Miami twice, and I think that'll be literally 4 wins right there. So honestly, I think the Bills are going to do pretty good next season. Like looking at the schedule, and knowing how they ended last season, I think they ended last season with like 6 wins in a row or something. Pretty sure. So the Bills are looking pretty good. I think they have a good chance of definitely getting up there in wins and probably finishing the top of their division.
What was your like least favorite or favorite draft pick?
Oh yeah, the Jaguars draft picks. Oh man, come on. Well, I don't want to say Trevor Lawrence, because that's too obvious, right? Um, so I mean, I like Tyson Campbell, the corner that they drafted. He did pretty well, and he's a pretty good corner. Like he did really well in college. But there's a safety that the Jaguars picked up from Syracuse. His name is, I think, Andre Cisco. He had like 14 interceptions, or something crazy like that when he was at Syracuse. So honestly, I'm really excited to see if he can transition like that ball hawk mentality, like because he got so many interceptions. Um, Hopefully he can take that to the next level. Because I think the Jaguars really needed a safety who could just go after the ball. Don't worry about making tackles, just break up plays. So I think he was a crucial pick. So I say Andre Cisco from Syracuse.
Yeah. Um my favorite um draft pick would be that guy Basham from um
On the Bills,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
so Greg Rousseau, the defensive end, or
yeah,
Rashid Wild Goose, who oh Greg Rousseau, mm, yeah, the defensive end. Oh
yeah.
man, yeah, he was pretty much one of like the top guy coming out of in the draft this year. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Miami really like Miami University. They really put out some good players. Especially on defense. So he's huge. I think he's like 6'7", which is like really big. He I think he had like over 50 tackles, and this was like 2019. So he opted out of 2020, and so he has a year of rest. Like so, I think he's gonna be ready to go. I'm excited to watch him, you know, play for the first time on the Bills. Definitely, that's a good pick for you.
Do, do you like how do you think that maybe like when the Bills play against Jacksonville, um how do you think the defense would matchup for Jacksonville against Josh Allen.
Oh wow. So that's gonna be a good game, honestly. The Jaguars defensive line, they got a guy back from injury. His name is Josh Allen. So Josh Allen is expected to be really good. But I know that your Josh Allen, your quarterback has been he's like on the upside. Like he took, what was it last year during the offseason, he just put himself through so much training to get better, and you can tell how much he stepped up. But the Bills have weapons. They have Stephon Diggs, right? Cole Beasley. These guys are pretty good. Um, so I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's in the middle of the season. It's at like week 9, right? So I think if they can stop your run game, we might have a good chance. I don't know. That's tough to say. Um, the Bills did so good last year. Um, and the Jaguars are like a new team. But I think they'll be able to get at least like 2 sacks, at least 2 in the game. I want to go a high of 4 sacks. Um, but it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. You got some fast guys on your offense, so I don't know how your offensive line is, uh, but the defensive line on the Jaguars, that there's some new guys, so it's gonna be hard to tell how it's gonna go. But I think at least 3 sacks.
Um, do you have any questions?
So I was, how do you like Josh Allen? Like from compared to his first year now to this year, or the last year, he he did really well, right? Are you happy with him so far?
I'm I'm happy with him so far that he's doing well to make the team be
Yeah,
good to make it to the championship game.
yeah, yeah. I think you guys just lost the conference, final. So, whew, man, Josh Allen, I'm excited for what he's gonna be because he like doubled in yards every year. So that's like so cool. Like I'm happy for the Bills, and I'm happy for Josh Allen that he's able to progress so well. So yeah, I just wanted to see how what your thoughts on Josh Allen was, and what do you think the game against the Jaguars? How do you think that's gonna go?
Um, I think that might be a close game for both teams, but I think the Bills might end up winning that game and uh like by a
Yeah.
touchdown or a field goal.
Yeah, that we're gonna have to remember this, write it down, and then week 10, we're gonna look back on week 9, or that that day after or something. We're gonna have to jump on and talk about it. So you say win by a touchdown. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say the Jaguars win by 3 points. That's pretty much that's probably not going to happen. Like your Bills did so good last year, 13-3, but I have to have my teams back. I have to say that they could do it because you never know, right? You never know.
Yeah, it's like um there's a saying, it's like every given Sunday or something like
Yeah, that's it. Any given Sunday, anything could happen. So, um, maybe the rookie, you know, our guy Trevor Lawrence, maybe he does really well. But I think that's going to be a good game, like a good shootout between Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be pretty cool to watch.
yeah, Trevor Lawrence used to play for Clemson, right?
Yeah, Yeah, Clemson. So yeah, it was 3 years, I believe, he played for them. So yeah, he he won it. I think his freshman year, the whole entire thing. So we'll see. We'll see. That was in college. It's in college anymore. So you never know. Hopefully he hopefully the game is slow for him. Because you know how they say when you're new to the NFL, everything moves so fast you can't keep up. So hopefully the game slows down for him, and he does well. But like you said, any given Sunday.
Yeah, I I watched him through college and that, and I like what I saw from Trevor Lawrence, so I think he'll be good um for Jacksonville coming this season.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm tired of seeing the Jacksonville Jaguars lose, man. You know that they did good in 2017, and that was pretty much it. So I'm hoping that they can make a comeback. You know, they could be like the Bills, come back and be a winning team. You know, you guys got your franchise quarterback. I hope the Jaguars have theirs.
What did you think of like Doug Marone while he was in Jacksonville?
I mean, I think that it was good like before Jalen Ramsey and Yannick Ngakwe, before those guys left the defense. Because I think Tom Coughlin came in and kind of messed up the dynamic that they had. So, you know, I think Doug Marone did a good job to like resonate with his players. I don't think by any means he's like a great like coach or anything. I think there are a lot better coaches out there. But I think he did well with what he had. Um, it was unfortunate that we had to play the Patriots, you know, in the AFC Championship game, and you know we felt like the refs weren't really on our side. So, you know, that really sucked. But I think he did well, and the players loved playing for him. So that's the important thing, right? And so so yeah, I think he did pretty well.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I'm really just looking forward to week 9 and to play Buffalo, man. I'm excited to talk trash to you and joke around, and next week, the week after, I'm ready to see what happened. Either I'm gonna be coming on here crying, or I'm gonna come here like, "Oh my god, did you see that game?" So we're not gonna know. I'm excited for that. So I can't wait to see you in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and hopefully um both of our teams are doing good um to come up to week 9.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Let's Talk Someone Sick Sports. Thank you to my guest Laurie Fitzpatrick. Um, Go Bills.
Go Jags!